Good day. Welcome. This is grade 7 and the topic is algebra. So this is a very important topic because this algebra you will get right up to grade 12, up to matric. So these kind of things where you see a on one side and some numbers, that is called algebraic expressions. So we're gonna solve, usually they say solve for x, here we're gonna solve for a, and you will need this going forward in your maths career. So I would really advise you to come back to this video occasionally just to revise yourself, to refresh your memory. And later, if you go on to grade 8, there's some more videos over there, solve for x. In there, it gets more difficult. But if you know this foundations, then the rest of your maths life and maths education will be so much easier. All right. So let's spend some time with this. So what is algebra? It's just a combination of different type of equations and things that we have. And for now, in this part of it, we're gonna solve for a. So a is a variable. You get things like x plus 2 equals 10. So when you get different variables, then you know that is what you are going to solve. So we're going to explain how you are going to solve it. And so let's take the a plus 5 equals 18. So how? Let's just start again. A plus 5 equals 18. So let's take a plus 5 equals 10. Let's make it a bit easier. So we need, at the end of the day, we want a on one side, equal sign, and then an answer on the right hand side. So that is what we want to work towards. Let me just write it here. So we want a equals and a number on the right hand side. So here we have a. So what we want to do, we want to take this 5 away from the left hand side, because looking at this, we only want a on the left. So the question is, how do we take the plus 5 away? So here we have, let's write it down for now, plus 5 is keep a space and let's write it 10. So to take 5 away, if you have 5 sweets, so let's take 5 sweets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To take it away, it just means you're gonna minus this by 5. So if you minus by 5, then you have 5 minus 5, and that answer is 0. So that is what I mean, take away. So we want to take away this 5. So how do we take it away? We minus 5. So we minus 5 on the left. But now, because this is an equal sign, we must do whatever we do on the left, we have to do on the right as well. Because the equal sign means it must stay the same. So on the left, we said minus 5. So now we have to say minus 5 on the right side as well. So now we have this a. And just look at this part here. So here's 5 minus 5. And 5 minus 5 equals 0. So you can actually write plus 0. But we don't need to write the plus 0 because anything plus 0 is just 0. But let's leave it there for now. And on the right hand side, we have 10 minus 5, and that equals 5. So remember what I said, we don't really need to write the 0. So the answer now will just be a equal to 5. Is it right? Let's test it. And this is, let's put it here on top as well. A equal to 5. So let's test something. So we work out a equal to 5. So let's put this here where a are standing. So if you put that 5 over here, now you have 5 plus 5 equals 10. And now you know your answer is correct. If you had a 4 over here, a equals 4, and you put that 4 over there, and 4 plus 5, 4 plus 5 is 9, and 9 is not equal to 10, then you know the 4 is wrong. So this is a nice way to test your answer. So let's do another example. So let's say x minus 3 equals 6. So again, we have this variable called x, and we have this minus 3, and we have the 6. So I just wrote it the same, but I just kept some space here on the left. Why are we keeping space? Because now here's a minus 3. And to get rid of the minus 3, I'm just going to write it at the bottom. If we have a minus 3, we want something minus 3 equals 0. And 3 minus 3 equals 0. But this is actually a plus 3 if there's nothing in front of the 3. So we want 3 minus 3 because that gives you 0. But there's already the minus 3. So now we're just going to add the plus 3. So if you look at this over here, you have minus 3 plus 3. But if you turn it around, it's 3 minus 3, and both will give you 0. So let me just remove this. So what you can do, if you look carefully, here's minus 3, and we added the plus 3. So every time when you see something like this, x minus 2 equals, say, 7. If you want to get rid of the minus 2, you just add a 2. So that is what you can do. But don't forget, whatever we do on the left, we must do on the right as well. So on the left, we had, let's first remove this one here. So on the left, we had plus 3. And now there, we're also going to have plus 3. What you do on the left, you have to do on the right. Now you have x, 3 minus 3 equals 0. So at the right, you're just going to have 6 plus 3, which equals 9. So there we have it. X equals 9. Is that the answer? Let's test it again and put this 9 here on top. 9 minus 3 equals 6. And that looks correct. Then we know that is right. So let's do y plus 4 equals 11. So now you know, let's just write it again. But because there's a plus 4, we're going to say minus 4 on the left. But now we have to say minus 4 on the right as well. Then you only stay with the y, because there's plus 4 and minus 4, plus 4 minus 4, which is just 4 minus 4, that equal 0. And you don't need to write the 0. And this on the right, 11 minus 4 equals 7. So here you just have y equal to 7. That's the answer. Let's test it, put the y on top. And yes, indeed, 7 plus 4 does equal to 11. Let's do one more like this, and we're going to move to something else. So let's say b minus 15 equal 32. So again, let's write it and keep some space. So what you do on the left, there's a minus 15. So now we add a 15. But if we do it on the left, we must add the 15 on the right as well. So on the left, we're only going to have b. And on the right, we're going to have 47. Because 32 plus 15, that is 47. All right, so that's just the basics. So let's just do something a bit different because you will need it for your other mathematical questions. I just want to show you this again. If you have a quad and you have four angles, angle A, B, C, and D, then you have A plus B plus C plus D, and that will equal 360 degrees. So all of that, A plus B plus C plus D, equal 360 degrees. So if they give you that D equals 70, C equals 50, B equals 100, now you only have A that is remaining. So what you can do, now you can say A, but you have B, C, and D. So now you put, where you see B, you put 100. Where you have C, different color, you put 50. And where you have D, you put 70. And all of that equals 360. So now you have this one unknown variable A, you have a couple of numbers, and then you have the 360. So what I'm going to do now, I can't do with the previous one and minus 100 and minus 50 and it's too much at this stage. So for now, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add this up first. So separately, I'm going to say 100 plus 50 plus 70. And if you do it, then that answer will be 220. So that means A plus 220 equals 360. And then you do it like we did previously. I'm going to do this. I'm going to write it up and make some more space. So if you have this, now you're going to say minus 220, and on the right, minus 220. Then you're going to have A equal, and if you work that out, you'll get 140. So what does it mean? It means this 140 over here. That's the answer to A. That must be there. So that A is 140. Is it correct? And to do that, you can just add up all of these numbers. So it's 140 plus the 100 plus the 50 plus the 70, and you will indeed get 360 because all the angles inside of a quad, if you add it up, you get to 360. So just keep this in mind that we did here, because you will need this if you do the quad questions. Let's just do one more. So again, you have any quad. Oops. A quad is 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. Doesn't matter how it looks. So if that is 100, that is 60, that is 40, the answer is, the question is, what is x? So again, like the previous sum, it is a quad. So all the angles will equal 360. So x plus that angle there of 40 plus that angle there of 100 plus the angle there of 60, all of that equals 360. So if you do it, first do x, and then first add up all of these numbers. So if you add that up, you get 40 plus 100 plus 60, and that will give you 200. That will give you 200, and then so x plus 200 equals 360. That means x You keep the 200 there. They just leave it there for now. But now I'm going to say, because this is a plus 200, I'm going to say minus 200. And on the right also, oops, minus 200, because whatever you do on the left, you do on the right as well. And then you will have x. This 200 minus 200 will give you 0. So you're only going to stay with x, and that is going to equal, if you do that sum, that answer will be 160 or 160 degrees. So this x will be 160. Easy to write. If you work it out and you add up 60 plus 100 plus 40 plus 160, all of that will equal 360, and then you know this is right. Okay, so let's move on still to algebra. So now we just did the pluses and the minuses. Now we're going to add some multiplication to it. So let's say we have 3x equal 15. So again, always the end result is we want x equal to a number. So that is what we want, and that is what we work towards. But now we sit with this. So this is not like the other sum where we had x plus 2 equals 15. This looks a bit different. So how are we going to treat this? First, we ask ourselves, what does 3x mean? 3x means 3 times x, or 3 multiplied by x. So to get rid of this over here, to get rid of the 3, you divide by 3. Because remember, 3 divided by 3 equals 1. So we always want to divide by the number that is standing there. So let's just see what it means in the sum, then you will understand it better. So in the sum, you take 3x, but you do want to divide it by this number there. So you divide it by 3. But just keep in mind, whatever you do on the left, divide by 3, you have to do on the right as well. Divide by 3. So because 3 divided by 3 equals 1, and here you can see you have a 3 divided by 3. So that equals 1. So you can now just write the x down. Because 3 divided by 3 is 1. So it will be 1x. But you don't need to write down 1x, because x on its own mean it is 1x. If you have 2x, that means you've got 2 x's. But here it's just 1. So you don't need to write this 1 down if you only have an x. So in this case, we're going to remove this here, and we only have x. And on the right, we have 15 divided by 3. And that answer is 5. So that is the answer, x equal to 5. Is it correct? Let's check. Remember, we started with 3x equals 15. And I said 3 times x means 3 times, or 3x means 3 times x equals 15. And if we put this x equal to 5, that means wherever we see an x there, we're going to put a 5. So if we put a 5 in here, now we have 3 multiplied by 5. And what is 3 multiplied by 5? It is indeed 15, which is the same as that. So then we know we are correct. All right, let's just do another one like that. Let's say 4x equal to 12. So with the previous example, let's just write the 4x equal to 12 again. So to get rid of the 4, we're going to multiply by 4. But what we do on the left, we do on the right as well. Sorry, not multiply by 4, divide by 4. Let me just repeat. To get rid of this 4, we divide by 4. You know, to do on the left, you do on the right, you divide by 4. So if we have something like this, it means the 4's cancel out, or 4 divided by 4 is 1, but we don't need to write the 1, we can just write the x. And what is 12 divided by 4? 12 divided by 4 is 3. So we're only going to have x equal to 3. Is it right? Let's take this x equal to 3 and put it in over there. Then you have 4 multiplied by 3. And what is 4 times 3? It is 12, which is the same as this over here. And when you have that, then you know your sum is right and you can smile. All right, let's do something more different. Let's take d, oops, d divided by 8 equal to 5. This is something now different. D divided by 8 equal to 5. So how do you get rid of this 8 over here? We're going to say d. Let's keep the divide by 8. Let's keep the 5. But now we're going to say multiply by 8 over 1. Or 8. Because 8 over 1, what is 8 divided by 1 is just 8. But there's a reason I'm writing it like that. So if you have this, you can almost like say this cancel each other out. Because 8 divided by 8 is 1, 8 divided by 8 is 1, and on the left now you only have a d. But remember, what we do on the left, I'm now talking about where we said multiply by 8 over 1. We have to do on the right as well, multiply by 8 over 1. And if we do this, the answer will be 40. So D equals 40. Again, you can check if you are correct by taking this 40, put it in there, then you say 40 divided by 8, and if you work it out, indeed, you will get 5. Let's do another example like that. So let's say you have x over 10, x divided by 10 equals 50. So let's start, just write it again, x divided by 10 and 50. But now I'm going to say to get rid of the 10, I multiply by 10 or 10 over 1. If I do on the left, I do on the right, multiply by 10. Now this 10s cancel each other out. You only sit with the x. And on the right, you have 50 times 10, which is 500. Let's test it. Put the 500 in here. What is 500 divided by 10? That answer is 50. And then you know you're right. Let's move to maybe add 2 things in one. So what I'm going to do here, I have 2x plus 4 equal 10. So if you have a multiplication and there's a plus and another number, what we're first going to do, we're first going to get rid of this plus 4. So we're going now starting to combine 2 different things into one. First, get rid of the plus 4. So if we do that, you keep the 2x. By now, you know already, if you have plus 4, you're going to say minus 4, and on the right, minus 4 as well. So here we have 2x equal 10 minus 4 is 6. And now you can see we're sitting now with almost the exact same type of question we just did. So now we can say 2x divided by 2 equals 6 divided by 2. To get rid of the 2, that cancel out, only x remain, and the answer is 3. Because 6 divided by 2 is 3. Let's see if it's right. If you take this 3, put it in over there, You get 2 multiplied by 3 plus 4. So what is that? 2 times 3 is 6, and 6 plus 4 is indeed 10. So now you know you are correct. Let's do one last one. Let's do 3x minus 2 equal to, let's take 7. So now again, you want to get rid of the minus 2. So first, just keep it like that. To get rid of the minus 2, we are going to plus 2 on the left and plus 2 on the right. So on the left, we only have 3x. And on the right, we're going to have 7 plus 2, which is 9. Now we're doing the other part, where we say this divide by 3. Then we divide on the right also by 3. The 3's cancel each other out. Only x remain. And 9 divided by 3, it's 3. You already know what I'm going to say now. Let's put it back and say what is 3 times 3 minus 2. If you work it out, 3 times 3 is 9, and 9 minus 2 is indeed 7, and which is the same as that 7, so we know we are correct. Let's just do a different type of question. Different type, but still the same. They might ask you, substitute the value of x. So that is what the type of question might look like. And they will give almost like something like this: y equal to 3x plus 2 if x equal to 8. So that is what they might give you. The only thing you do here is very similar to what we did previously. Wherever we see a x, we just put the 8. Here we have y, because actually what they want us to determine y, but we have this x, but they give the value of that x. So at the end of the day, we are just going to sit with the y, almost like this, y equal to something. So that is what we want to work towards. So let's come back to this. So y equals 3x plus 2. So we have 3, where we see, let me do it in this, 3 multiplied by, and now we have this, where x is, where you see an x, you put the 8. So that is 3 times 8. And then just a plus 2. 3 times 8 gives you 24. Plus 2. So we have y equal to 26. So that is how you do that. You just substitute the value in. Let's do another one. Y equals 4x minus 1. And substitute wherever you see an x, put x equal to. So now we have y equal to 4 multiplied by 2 minus 1. 4 multiplied by 2 is 8. 8 minus 1 is 7. And that is your answer. Let's do 2 more. Then we are complete with this. Then you know the basis of algebra. 3x minus 5, and substitute if x equal to 3. So they have a y, 3. Wherever we see an x, we're going to put a 3 over there. So let's just do this. Wherever you put the x, you put that 3. So it's 3 multiply by 3 minus 5. 3 times 3 is 9 minus 5. And 9 minus 5 is 4. And I always, if I finish, I just quickly double check my answer. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 minus 5, it is 4. Last one for the day. Y equals 5x plus 3. and substitute where you have x equal 4. So where you see an x, you put a 4. So there's the x. So now we're going to have y equal to 5 multiplied by 4. And that answer is 3. Not 3. Let's do this with that. So that is 5 times 4 is 20. 20 plus 3. And the final answer is y equal to 23. Just quickly, what I did here, I can say either 5 multiplied by 4, or I can say 5 and put a bracket in. This also means 5 multiplied by 4. So I can say it any way. How can I say? Any way you write it will be correct. So just look at that carefully. That's why you see in different sums I have this, and other sums I have 5 multiplied by 4. This was basis of algebra. So please, like I said earlier, if you don't know how to work out the solve for x or solve for a, and you see a variable, just come back to this video, look at this again, because you will need this for all the grades going forward. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you for understanding. Have a good day. Bye-bye.